Hey, want to skip those ads and get early access and bonus episodes of all Banana for Scale shows? Hop on over to truestory.fm/join and discover all the cool perks that come with being a member of the Banana for Scale family. Coming up on The Devil's Details, is it too late to get 7 bowls of wrath to go? Revelation chapter 15. Good morning, Star, and welcome to another episode of The Devil's Details, a show where we dig up, decipher, dissect, and deconstruct the many forms of the devil. One of my names is Lester Ryan Clark.
And I sometimes go by Keenan Diaz.
And we're just two lost souls hitchhiking down the highway to hell. Keenan, am I wrong? Or take a look at this map here. Isn't there supposed to be a river here?
Oh, we done took care of that. Don't you worry about that.
Why are you saying it so suggestively? What do you mean we took care of the river Euphrates?
Maybe we had some bowls. Now you might think then we picked up the river with the bowls.
Yeah.
But you'd be vastly mistaken.
Be sorely mistaken. Oh geez. Oh, well, hang on. Let's ask this guy if he knows what's up. He's kind of putting his two arms up, like he's trying to flag us down. Excuse me, sir. We were just wondering what happened to the river. Oh, how does Moses sound? Oh, he sounds like Charlton Heston, doesn't he?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Get your car off the road, you damn dirty driver. Jeez, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Moses.
Gosh, yeah.
It's a bit busy, I guess.
I know, yeah. All right, well, I don't know. Hang on, let me check the glove compartment here. Oh, look at this, the Holy Bible. When in doubt, and when your map doesn't work anymore, Bible is the next best thing. Yeah, let's crack this baby open. And look here, it opened right up on chapter 15 of Revelation. So let's have a read.
It's the shortest one, luckily.
It is, yeah. You know what they say? They say the shortest route to somewhere is a straight line. Let's see how straight this thing is. All right, this is Revelation chapter 15. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of God. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. Who shall not fear thee, O Lord, and glorify thy name? For thou only art holy. For all nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials, full of the wrath of God, who liveth for ever and ever. And the temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God, and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. Oh boy, did we? So we got 7 sevens. We got more 7s here.
More 7s here.
I'm back in Vegas, and we just hit the jackpot, I think.
Do you want to try to remember the 7s by memory here? We got 7 pillars.
7 pillars.
Yeah, 7 pillars. We got 7 bowls. We got 7 seals.
7 seals.
7 angels.
I almost forgot about
we got
those.
some other angels.
Now we got 7 more angels.
I think these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are different.
Yeah, the other ones had the trumpets. These are the angels with the plagues.
That's right. They sounded the 7 trumpets as well.
Yep. Yep.
So this says it's going to be the last of our plagues, maybe the last of our 7s. We'll see.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Not 7 beasts. No. There's only 4 beasts. But those aren't even beasts.
No.
Yep.
7 heads, though.
7 heads, 10 horns. Okay, so. Oy. This is also one that I'm not too familiar with. How about you?
No, I'd never heard of 7 bowls and 7 vials or any of that. So doing this show is the first time I heard it.
Yeah. So folks, chapter 15 is very short. It's only 8 verses, but very important. It is the calm before the storm, the preparation for the final and most severe judgments. After chapter 14's preview of victory and judgment, chapter 15 sets up the 7 bowl judgments that will be poured out in chapter 16. This is the point of no return in God's wrath against a rebellious world. This is the popular view, by the way. So let's look at these 7 last plagues. So we're talking like this is the after this, no more plagues. These are the 7 final ones.
That's what they're promising us. They're going to pour them all out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm looking forward to how you might interpret these wraths as something different than God's wrath.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I'm waiting.
It's like a challenge at this point. It's like, try your best. All right. Yeah. Let's see this. Okay. So John sees, quote, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. These are explicitly called the last plagues, the final climactic judgments. After these, God's wrath is complete, filled up, right? It's just completely full, right? He'll never, ever, ever get angry again. Ever. Popular interpretation sees these as the bowl judgments, most intense and devastating of all the tribulation judgments. We've already seen the 7 seals back in chapter 6. Back in chapter 6.
Oh, 6.
6. There we go. And the 7 trumpets in chapters 8 and 9, the bowls are the final series of these things. Worse than what came before, they are poured out rapidly, one after another, bringing the tribulation to its catastrophic climax. The fact that they're called the last and that they fill up God's wrath means that it is no more judgments after this. These bowls complete his judgment. Right?
All right, good.
There we go. Yeah.
This is pretty nasty.
Pretty nasty, right? And saving the best for last, or the worst, I guess, for last, right? Now, before showing the angels with the bowls, John sees a vision of victory. People standing on a, quote, sea of glass mingled with fire. Those who, quote, had gotten the victory over the beast and over its image and over its mark and over the number of his name.
Yeah, so we had seen a sea of glass before when John first gets to see Christ in heaven in the throne room.
Yes.
So this is potentially now, as all this terrible stuff is happening, the earth is becoming more like heaven.
Aha, there we go. And popular interpretation identifies these as the tribulation martyrs, right? The people who are standing in victory, right? They are believers who refused to worship the beast or take his mark during the tribulation. They were killed for their faithfulness and are now in heaven, right? The sea of glass echoes, right? Just like Keenan said, chapter 4, verse 6, where there's like a sea of glass before God's throne, and they have harps of God, instruments for worship. Despite suffering and death, they're now celebrating. They've won. They have overcome, not by defeating the beast militarily, but by remaining faithful unto death, right? Their victory was refusing to compromise, and now they're vindicated in heaven. And then we got this, we got a mention of the Song of Moses and Song of the Lamb, right? So the victors are singing, quote, the Song of Moses, the servant of God, and the Song of the Lamb. So these are the 2 kind of like major acts of deliverance in our biblical story, right? So we got after God delivered Israel from Egypt through the Red Sea, drowning Pharaoh's army, Moses and the Israelites sang a song of victory, right? This is Exodus chapter 15. And then the Song of the Lamb, obviously, this is Christ's death and resurrection. Right. So these are the 2 songs of deliverance, and they're kind of like commingling in heaven now.
Right. So we've often had callbacks to just the Old Testament, like in Daniel or something like that, and then in other chapters or in other parts of the same chapter we talk about Jesus. But this is like these songs are united here.
Yes. And now John sees, quote, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven opened. 7 angels come out, clothed in pure white linen with golden sashes. These are priestly garments showing that they serve in God's temple. One of the 4 living creatures, remember those are the cherubim from before, right? Gives each angel a golden bowl, quote, full of the wrath of God who liveth forever and ever. Okay, this interests me because even in the English translation, these living creatures, which we have decided now are cherubim, cherubim which we have decided now are a type of angel, right, thanks to St. Augustine and Thomas Aquinas, right? Even this translation, the English translation of the book of Revelation, seems to think of them as separate beings. Seems to not, it's not saying one of the 4 living creatures who are also angels, right, gives each angel a bowl. It doesn't, it specifies angel as the beings receiving the bowl.
Right.
Right. So it almost feels like these quote unquote living creatures, the beasts, were never meant to be referred to or thought of as angels.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But then they're described as how cherubim are described in other places.
Right. But what I'm saying is all of that came after. That was after, Thomas Aquinas did his whole little, polka decks.
Okay.
And he decided, well, these are angels too, right?
So they're not angels anymore. They're beasts.
I mean, well, I don't think they ever. I wonder if they ever were.
Okay, great.
Because John would say, the angels handed the angels bowls,
right? Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't say that. He says the living creatures hand the angels. The living creatures give each angel a bowl. So.
Yeah, I agree. All right, yeah. I'm glad.
Okay, there we go.
10 chapters, but great. I'm glad with that.
Yeah, but I get popular interpretation sees them as the cherubim. Yeah, but also popular interpretation has them having 4 heads, which I think is also a misreading of this.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is the preparation for the final judgment, right? The temple opening shows that this comes directly from God's presence. The angels are dressed in priestly clothing, and these bowls are full of God's wrath, whatever that means. But I think the bowls are meant to. It's to show that this is the full wrath, because we're going to pour all of it out. We're not, these aren't the Dixie cups of judgment.
Or you mean there's not like a fountain or a river that replenishes? Yes.
And each of the living creatures gave the angels a small ladle. No, they got the bowls. The bowls are and they gathered around the water cooler of wrath. No, these are the bowls. This is where the judgment is, and it's being emptied out completely.
Right.
Right. And then what do we think of the temple filling with smoke, right? The temple filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled.
That's interesting, because I thought like we had our people who were our saints, who were the martyred people, like they've been around, but I kind of just assumed that as soon as things start going, they get to move on and have their own their own day in heaven. But I guess this is saying that no, they have to wait around, and I don't know, are they helping or are they just witnessing?
I'm not sure. It seems to be the idea that the smoke is it's meaning that this act can't be interrupted. It's like the temple closing its doors.
Like you can't stop what started here.
Exactly, right. So it's like putting a sign outside the door, say like meeting in progress or something like that, right? I mean, not to be the others were meant to be funny, but like that's I genuinely mean that. I think it's like no, don't come in here like important stuff is happening.
No, I think you're being reverent. You're not saying like the sign says if the temple's a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
Right. I'm not saying
you're not saying that.
No.
That would be crass.
Yes. That'd be unseemly,
right?
And not characteristic of our show. But no, it's like for me, it's kind of scary because like you have all of these, it's like the martyrs are singing, the angels come down, then they're singing, and all of this celebration, and then okay, now we're handing out the bowls of judgment, and suddenly the screen goes dark. Suddenly the temple fills with smoke. It's like, but okay, like scary stuff is happening now.
Right, and there's nothing you do about it.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the popular interpretation, right? Now that the final judgments are being poured out. No more intercession, no more mercy. This is it's go time.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So final.
Right.
Armageddon.
And I mean it.
Final. Version 4. Final.
Yes.
I mean, we're almost to Armageddon.
We are.
So okay, great. So I can start using that term, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I'm getting Nancy. All right. But yeah, let's look at what some modern historians and some scholars say about this chapter and what it's supposed to tell us. So again, it's very, very brief, but very, very powerful. It's a transitional chapter that shows both the vindication of resistors and the inevitability of empire's judgment. Chapters 12 through 14 showed the beast's power and the call to patient endurance. Chapter 15 says, here's what victory looks like. Here's why empire's destruction is certain. This is John's assurance that resistance isn't futile and empire's fall isn't wishful thinking. It is as certain as God's own glory, right, is what he's saying, right? So again, revisiting those plagues, right? John sees 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up with the wrath of God, right? This echoes our plagues of Egypt. We're bringing all the hits back. God's judgment on Pharaoh's empire that enslaved Israel, right? Egypt was an empire. This is another example. Just as those plagues forced Pharaoh to release God's people, these plagues represent the complete judgment on Rome and all future empires that enslave or oppress. So for first century readers suffering under Roman oppression, this was hope, right? God's judgment on empire is as certain as his judgment was on Egypt. Rome will fall as surely as Pharaoh fell. Right? So making that call back to, hey, I know it's really, really tough now under Caesar, but remember what happened to Pharaoh. And yeah, for readers today, this establishes that empire's collapse isn't optional or uncertain. It's inevitable and complete. Just as Egypt fell, just as Rome fell, every empire that's ever existed has fallen. Britain fell at one point. The Soviet Union fell, right? This pattern is absolute. The 7 last plagues aren't about a future tribulation. They're about the certainty that oppressive systems contain the seeds of their own destruction. Empire's judgment is filled up, complete, assured. The question isn't whether it will happen, but when, right? And I think I was like, that is the best way to say it. I was trying to say it last week, but I think that's a better way to say it is they contain the seeds of their own destruction. If that makes any sense. It's just
I think so.
The way that oppressive systems operate, they will eventually eat themselves. And yeah, John sees those who, quote, had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, standing on, quote, a sea of glass mingled with fire, right? So again, these aren't people in some future tribulation. They're John's community, the first century believers who refused to accommodate Rome. They got the victory not by defeating Rome militarily, but by refusing to worship the emperor, refusing to participate in the imperial cult, refusing to take Rome's mark, right? That's, like the economic system. This sea of glass, this is the trials that they endured, right? Mingled with fire, suggests purity, clarity, stability. The fire represents the testing and the persecution. So we had seen the sea of glass up in heaven, but I don't remember if it was mingled with fire in this way.
I don't believe so. Right? It just seems to be like the natural state of things up there. But this one is coming out of the tribulation, the survival through the tribulations.
It's almost like
and the survival over not God's tribulation necessarily, but of the Satan's tribulations.
Yeah, it's almost like a metaphor for a chemistry lesson, because it's like melting the earth into glass. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's we're creating a mirror of the sea of glass up in heaven, but we're doing it through fire, through like hardship and struggle. But yeah, okay, talking about Moses, right? The victors sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, right? So connecting Exodus with liberation from the beast or Rome, right? Exodus 15 records Moses and Israel singing after God drowned Pharaoh's army in the Red Sea, right? Quote, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider hath he thrown into the sea. That was the original song of liberation from empire. Now, John's community sings the same song celebrating liberation from Rome through the Lamb's pattern of sacrificial resistance. The song proclaims, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways. All nations shall come and worship before thee, for thy judgments are made manifest, right? So this is Exodus theology, right? God judges empire and delivers the oppressed. What he did to Egypt, he'll do to Rome. The pattern repeats. Faithful community sings the ancient liberation song because they are experiencing this ancient liberation pattern. Right? For us today, this is claiming the Exodus tradition for contemporary resistance. Every liberation movement can sing the Song of Moses, celebrating when empire falls, when systems of oppression collapse, when justice finally comes. The African-American spirituals that sang of Exodus during slavery understood this. The liberation theology movements understood this, right? You sing the Song of Moses when you see empire's power broken, whatever empire means in that context. When the oppressor's army drowns in its own violence, when liberation comes. And you sing the Song of the Lamb because the pattern of Jesus, faithful witness unto death, followed by resurrection and vindication, is how that liberation happens. The song combines the ancient pattern of Moses and Exodus with the new pattern, right? The lamb dying for resurrection, right? To say God liberates the oppressed by judging empire, and he does it through the pattern of faithful witness, even unto death. So I like this. I like that. I mean, we joke about the structure of Revelation, but we are bringing the two versions of victory back into one, right? We have God didn't let us down. God, delivered us from Egypt. And it was through through Moses and the great miracle of the sea parting and everything like that. And that was like this big epic thing, right? But what can I do? What about me, right? And then we look at the Song of the Lamb, and it's like, okay, like following the pattern of Jesus, meaning it is what would Jesus do, right? Standing up for what is just, calling out the unjust, and not backing down and even dying for it, right?
Yeah. So again, this is part of the reason why it might be interesting or rewarding to put this book last and to see this as the ending. Again, it's not written that way. That's the end of the Bible. But you can see why, when we start to unite both the Old and New Testament together, we could see it as, this fits here. And just wait till you will not believe what the last word of Revelation is.
Oh, yeah.
Just wait, everybody. You'll see.
Yeah. We're saying it like we hold the keys, like we're keeping it from. Like you guys can just go look if you want.
And subscribe. No.
No. Okay.
They got to hear from us first.
Yeah. Yeah. And the name of the beast was Frankenstein. Okay, I want to talk about this temple imagery, though. Right. So we got the temple of the tabernacle. These are all. I don't know how it was in the original Greek, but and how close the English translation is, but there is a lot of the blank of the blank of the blank, and as I'm reading, I think I'm done, and then there's one. It's like I'm going up the stairs, and there's one more step.
The temple, the tabernacle, the testimony in heaven.
Yes, the temple of the tabernacle. I can't even. I'm doing it slowly. The temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven.
Do you know Singing in the Rain very well? There's a tongue twister about Moses in there.
Oh no, I don't.
So in the movie, they're silent movie stars, and then sound comes to film, and so they have to do elocution lessons. So
like the rain in Spain and
yeah, exactly. So their version is Moses supposes his toes are roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. Now Moses, he knows his toes aren't roses, so why is it that Moses supposed them to be?
And which chapter of Revelation are we going to see that in?
Hopefully 16, yeah.
Yes, hopefully. Right? I've been waiting, right? Right along with Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear.
Was he?
Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair.
Did he not?
No. Wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Okay, but yeah, so the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. I've said that so many times now, I don't even know what that means. But yeah, it is opened, and the seven angels come out of the temple, having these seven plagues. Right, they're clothed in pure. Okay, this is what I mean. And I'm gonna read it as it is written.
Okay,
and you tell me how this sounds, Keenan. Okay, I'm starting on verse 5. And I'm gonna go through to verse 6. Okay. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the seven angels came out of the temple, having the seven plagues, clothed in pure and white linen.
That sounds great. You did it perfectly.
Okay. But in an English language or English proficiency test, I would then ask you, what was clothed in pure white linen? The seven angels or the seven plagues?
The seven plagues.
Yes. That is how it is written here. Okay, listeners, listen to this. This is verse 6. And the seven angels came out of the temple having the seven plagues, clothed in pure and white linen. Not, and the seven angels clothed in pure white linen came out of the temple having the seven plagues. That is how it should be.
I don't think John's accepting notes.
No, he's not. This is, oh God, I'm going to get like when I end up, at the pearly gates, it's like, so, you didn't like chapter 15 very much, did you?
Well, guess who we got over here to greet you.
But yeah, I don't know. The seven angels came out of the temple having the seven plagues clothed in pure white linen.
That's correct.
I know what it's trying to say, but it like threw me. It keeps on throwing me off no matter how many times I read it. Yes. So I'm just trying to say, listeners, this is a tough one to read. And we read Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. Yeah. Okay.
Right. We got these plagues.
Yeah, we got these plagues. And they're looking real nice because they're all
they're beautiful.
They're clothed in white linen. Yes. So yeah, for first century readers, right, this is saying that Rome's fall isn't just random chaos. It's divine judgment. It's righteous. It's necessary. It's coming from God's very nature, and it is just and holy. And I think we get that from the fact that this is like an organized ceremony. They are clothed in white linen, and they have these bowls, and the bowls are full. Right.
Okay,
So it's not like it's not, God casts his hand out and like just because he could do that. He could just say, it's like, let there be 7 plagues. But we make a big to-do of it. We dress the angels up. Right? When was the last time we talked about what angels wore? Right? So they are wearing specifically, this is like a ceremonial thing, and they have ceremonial bowls, meaning this is official. This isn't just like happenstance. This isn't a coincidence.
Okay.
And yeah, for contemporary readers, this means empire's collapse isn't just historical accident or the economic cycle. It is the moral structure of the universe asserting itself. When the current big capital E empire falls, and it won't be random. It will be judgment, right? The natural consequence of building power on violence and exploitation and injustice, right? The bowls full of wrath aren't God throwing a tantrum. They are the inevitable result of systems that violate truth and justice, oppressive power. I guess you could almost think of it as, so these bowls of wrath, we keep on talking about how full they are, right? Who's filling them?
The Lord?
Or is it us?
Okay.
So maybe these bowls are just kind of like set aside, in their ceremonial places, and they get fuller and fuller and fuller because of all the violence down below. And this is the angels being like, all right, got to dump the bowls now.
Okay.
Or this is God being like, okay, like, look, you guys have filled these bowls so much with blood, with violence, that now they have to be poured out. Right? It almost like they're not bowls for like pouring things into. It's almost like they're for like catching rainwater or something like that.
Okay, pouring them back down.
And pouring them back down, right? So violence begets violence upon like this is the fruit of your hateful actions.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the temple is filled with smoke. Temple was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power, and no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled. So I have never associated God's goodness with smoke.
Well, I guess sometimes we do with like incense and
Actually, as
ritual
soon as you said
cleansing
that,
smoke. Yeah.
But that's like prayers going up to God. That's like it kind of like a visual like helper for like when we're praying, and it's like oh it's all rising, it's all going up to God. But God himself, I mean, like I know, we've talked before in the Paradise Lost season about how God is often depicted within a cloud, right? Like he's unknowable, right. He's unseeable, like nothing can reach him. He's unfathomable, right? That's a hard word to say, unfathomable, right?
Right. And as unpredictable as the weather or something.
Exactly, right? And I guess we could think of it in that way, that now that the last final judgments are being poured out upon us, the entire temple kind of becomes God in that like it gets filled up with the cloud. All right. But there's an additional element, right? Nobody can enter until the plagues are complete, right? This means no intercession, no stopping the judgment, no turning back, right? Empire has reached the point of no return. For first century readers, this said Rome's judgment is certain and unstoppable. We are past the point where Rome could repent or where it could like change course. And for us today, right, this speaks to the irreversibility of empire's collapse once it reaches a certain point, right? There comes a moment when systems have so thoroughly corrupted themselves, have so completely committed to violence and exploitation that collapse is inevitable, and no intervention can stop it. I did not expect this today, but we actually just got the news today that Greg Bavino, border control commander, former border control commander, he was the senior official for the U.S. Border Patrol. He has been fired. And I just cannot help but think of that as we are going through this chapter. I guess also between this episode and the last episode, we did have another ICE-related death with Alex Preddy. Was shot in Minneapolis, was murdered in Minneapolis. And I just keep on thinking about this passage, how this ramping up of the violence this type of thing cannot be sustained. It can't. It doesn't have the legs to stand on. And yeah, the collapse is inevitable. I tell my students, because a lot of them are afraid, and a lot of them wonder about this and wonder about the future. And I say, even though I can't say for certain, but I say, evil like this is doomed to fail. It's already standing on really, really skinny legs. The only way they're going to win is if our president takes over the whole world and then lives forever. And neither of those things is going to happen. So,
all right, yay.
Yeah.
Here's looking up. Yeah.
Yeah. And already we can see things starting to fall apart, right? What is that famous poem? The center doesn't hold, right? Yeah, things fall apart. I think he was talking about good institutions decaying. So maybe not a good quote for this instance. But yeah, like when the temple fills with smoke and no one can enter or intercede, it means the system has passed the point where reform is possible. Only collapse remains. It's not sadistic. It's realistic. Some systems become so broken, so committed to death dealing that they cannot be saved, only survived. The question isn't whether they'll fall, but whether we'll go down with them or stand apart on the sea of glass, having refused participation. There is going to come a time when suddenly, magically, everyone was against this.
And then 50 years after that, everyone will say, "Oh, maybe it wasn't so bad."
Yeah. It's the cycle. But what I'm saying is, and that's not even my quote. I'm actually I stole it from somebody. I saw it on Facebook. Somebody said in a few years, everybody everybody will say it's like, "Oh, this was all terrible." I was against this. And,
right.
Well, the problem with that though, and this is what I tell my students is, maybe you could say that after World War II, right? Maybe the Germans could say, it's like, we had no idea about the camps. Oh my gosh, we had no idea. The problem with trying to say that today is that we have receipts. The internet exists. Nothing is ever erased. So you can scrub your profile all you want. You can take down all those pictures of you standing in front of Alligator Alcatraz and that little, avatar that says, "I love ice raids," and and all your little ice baby memes, and you can take all that down. But somebody saved it somewhere. What's his name? Lizard guy.
Lizard guy, Stephen Miller?
No. That's the
Lizard
other.
guy.
That's anal polyp guy.
Steve Irwin?
No. No, he
mean.
cared about lizards. He was a man.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm trying to say Zuckerberg probably has it, in a hard drive or somewhere.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. So there's no but that's I think that's another way to look at this is once the collapse starts, there's no it's like, hey, I was just kidding. You can't walk back like anybody who filmed themselves doing Elon's little salute. You're not you can't be like, I was just kidding. You can't walk that back. There's not he can't walk that back. That's gonna be in the history books. Right. And geez, what a picture, because it's right in front of the presidential seal of the United States of America. Right. Right. That is going to be in our great grandkids' history books. And we can't erase it. We can't pretend it didn't happen because, everybody saw. Right. But yeah, I mean, so, there you go. Popular belief, chapter 15 is talking about these 7 bowls of judgment, right? They're the final, wave of God's wrath, right? It's the most severe, right? But what we could look at this as is these last 7 plagues are the last kind of death throes of an oppressive system. Right. I think I've talked before about extinction burst. Right. And if you don't know what that is, Google it, and it will make you feel better.
All right. Well, when you find out next week, because you are not allowed to read the Bible without our permission. Yes. What these plagues are, we'll see how well they line up with what Lester's sources are saying.
Yeah.
Wrath.
My prediction: it'll be up for interpretation. But folks, this has been another episode of The Devil's Details. I've been Lester Ryan Clark. You can summon me on all the socials as Lester Ryan Clark.
And I've been Keenan Diaz, and you can invoke me on Instagram and Letterboxd as Howdy Keenan.
Yeah. Find more of our shows and other really cool podcasts at truestory.fm, or you can drop us a message at Banana for Scale Mail. That's mail at gmail.com. We got our Facebook listener group, Banana for Scale. That's a community for all of our shows, including this one. It's a private group, but just request to join and we'll let you into the Infernal family. If you want more, consider joining us at truestory.fm/join and look for Banana for Scale. That's us. You get bonus episodes of all our shows, access to our Discord, and you get your episodes a week early and ad-free. Pretty cool. Just $5. Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? We're not even asking for your souls. Just give us a 5 pentagram rating on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to our show. That and sharing the show by word of mouth or on social media helps our little podcast grow and find more cool people like you. All right, folks, until next week, love and hisses. Mwah.